Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up this afternoon, food prices keep going up as coronavirus crisis sparks panic buying. We will examine the trends. As many events locally and globally are cancelled around this time, how are event vendors coping? We'll touch base with some of them. Also searching for a cure, Italy and Ivory Coast are some of the countries hoping to invest and investigate Aboagye-Wiafe as possible cure for coronavirus. My name is Darrell Kwao and you are at the marketplace. Welcome back to the program. Italy and Ivory Coast are some of the countries hoping to invest and investigate Aboagye-Wiafe as a possible cure for coronavirus. The manufacturer has been appealing to government for support to expand production of the immune booster. Odilia Ntiamwa has been speaking with Professor Samuel Atu-Duncan, and here's a bit of their conversation.
What we have has a broad spectrum of antiviral properties. So it is possible that it can work against I can work on the coronavirus as well. And what even prompted me to call for press conference was when we sent some samples, some Chinese nationals in Ghana took some sample and sent to China, and they hinted us that it was working. But they had a different motive, and I believe that it is not something that we can hide under the shelves. This is something that, if care is taken, or some kind of concentration, you see,
it will be a national breakthrough.
It will be a national breakthrough. It's an international breakthrough. So the press conference was to invite the government and all institutions all over the world, countries that have been affected and not affected, to develop the interest, because now...
But the interest hasn't, they haven't shown the interest yet.
I think Ivory Coast has shown interest. We had another decision from Italy, that they are all preparing to come and see how they can help so that we can also help them in their countries. And this is why certain times, to me, it seems Ghana is being too slow. Yeah, Ghana is being too slow. Because one, the viruses spread like wildfire, right? And from two, just about within 2 weeks, 68. The sizes are increasing. You don't need time to go through the normal scientific protocols, where it can take us about 12 months to 18 months to finish a trial. Since the product has been registered and people are already taking it, and a lot of testimonies are coming out of it, then we can jump straight to, was it has market authorization, that's the Aboagye-Wiafe. I'm not talking about any product. Other product
can be looked at later.
Can be looked at later. But the Aboagye-Wiafe, that has the potentials to improve your immune system, for your system itself to withstand and fight viruses. This is the time you have to institute serious investigation very fast and see how it works. Does it only improve the immune system, or the antiviral properties in it can also kill the viruses? That's the COVID-19 viruses. Then it means Ghana is making a serious headway, right? And one, if not for anything, Ghana can protect her citizens. That is first. And later, we can also export some for foreign exchange, so that we can rely on ourselves that a Ghana without aid will be possible.
Whilst talking, you struck a chord for me. That's China coming to you and saying that, give us this and we will pay you. How much did they offer and why did you refuse? I hear it was juicy.
To me, that offer was too small for a country like Ghana. I'm talking about a country like Ghana because I am very patriotic. And I love my nation. And I believe that whatever I'm doing is just to complement the efforts of the government of Ghana, but not for myself. Right? So I'm there for Ghana. And to me, I believe Ghana must be the first beneficiary to this. Then after that, if Ghana can negotiate, then fair enough, I think I would have been able to achieve an aim that complement the efforts of the government of Ghana.
I want to find out, are you getting some funding sources as well? Yes, you've spoken about the Chinese trying to come with money to woo you and probably take the whole patent and everything away. Are you getting others, both locally and internationally, saying that this is worth the time, let's put some money into it?
Yeah, I think there was a call from, which is not official, from Italy. And there's some kind of negotiations also with the Ivorian government through the Ministry of Health.
Hopefully something will come out of that. Well, let's move on now. With the uncertainty presented by the outbreak of the coronavirus, prices of food items on the market have seen an increase, and they're expected to continue to increase in the coming months. Ghana has confirmed 132 cases so far, and this has sparked some fear amongst the public, causing them to indulge in panic buying. Joining us to evaluate the trend and what to expect with the prices of food on the market is Francis Danso, his content manager for Isoko Ghana Limited, agri service providers. Great to have you on the marketplace. Can you paint a picture for us of what food prices are looking like on the market right now?
Thank you for your question. Currently, prices are moving up from last week when especially markets in Accra were closed down for the disinfection, and I know it's going also on in the other parts of the region. And so, as you rightly said, people are engaged in panic buying, and so traders are also taking advantage of the situation, and then prices currently are moving up when you go to the various markets.
And so from your investigation, which food items are going up in terms of prices? Which items are on high demand, are in high demand?
So when you currently look at, we have vegetables, which people are also trying to stock. We have gari, there is maize, beans. They are all prices of these commodities have started seeing increases because people are trying to stock them because they can store for long, and in period where people are talking about total or partial lockdown, they want to prepare themselves before any such announcement is made, and so this is causing the prices to move up.
All right.
So, for example, from yesterday, you can get just one tomato costing 2 cedis in some markets within Accra. So you can see to the extent to which prices are increasing.
And so this is going to go on for a while whilst you try to fix this situation with the coronavirus pandemic. What do you expect the future to look like in terms of pricing of food items? And now that there is a debate of a lockdown as well.
So if there is going to be a lockdown, whether partial or total, once the announcement is made, from the period the announcement is made till the time the lockdown takes effect, you are going to see a lot of price movements, because then people are going to, again, continue to stockpile. Even if they do not need those things, they will want to buy and be sure they are safe and they wouldn't be moving out. And so from that period, from now till when we get there, people will continue to speculate, and so prices will continue to move. And we should also not forget that because we are engaged in panic buying, it means that volumes that hitherto would have stayed on the market for a period of time, we are buying them within some few days. And so they will have to restock. And restocking also has its own challenges, because if they go and they do not get, most often they were relying on the other neighboring countries, especially tomatoes and some of the other vegetables. Now that almost every country is shutting down, it means that it is also going to have an effect on pricing and on the quantities that we may get on the market to buy, even if you have the money to buy it.
So my shock was, for instance, last week over the weekend, when people went to the market, we're hearing stories of the price of Gari, which maybe was selling at 8 cedis, going up by as much as 15 cedis, almost doubling. How can government intervene in these times to avoid hoarding and profiteering?
It will be difficult looking at the kind of markets that we operate. We operate a free market, and government do not set prices. So it is going to be difficult for government to intervene and say that sell your produce at this price or this price. It is going to be difficult. So all that we can do is to appeal to our Ghanaian traders, our brothers and sisters, to have mercy and not to look for too much profit in these difficult times. Because what will be the essence of you getting all the money and then someone starving to death? When this whole thing is over, who are you going to get to come and buy from you? And so it is something that we need to understand as a nation and as Ghanaians, that this is not the time for us to look for too much profit when we are selling goods.
All right, Francis Eje, so content manager at Isoko, thanks for your perspective. The only thing we can do now is appeal to our traders not to increase their prices during these times. That is all we can do, he says. Well, there's intense pressure on government to declare an emergency lockdown in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Already, there are deep concerns. Plans to totally lock down could affect our economy. And so the General Overseer of the International Central Gospel Church, Dr. Mensah Otabil, has been speaking about the fact that as we debate a lockdown, we should rather shut down all public transport systems, including trotros and intercity travels. He says that could contain the spread of the virus, arguing that a complete lockdown could be far-fetched.
Should there be a lockdown in Ghana? I don't know. I don't have the facts. My common sense would be that we should suspend public transport because this thing travels by transportation. We've shut down airlines. So maybe intercity travel must be shut down. We have to start shutting down travel, one way or the other. That may end up become like a lockdown one way or the other, except if people decide to walk from Accra to Kumasi or wherever they want to walk to. I mean, that would be my commonsensical approach. I don't think the government has any responsibility to take my advice, because I am seeing it from the information I have. They see it from a different point of view, and they may make a different call on the same facts that all of us see differently at this time. So I don't know. I mean, yes, everybody feels that shut it down may be the answer, but shut it down in Ghana can be very scary. I driving through town on Sunday. I drove through Mokola, Tudu on a Sunday, and I saw the people and I said, wow, do these guys know what is happening in this country? And today, if you go through town, it's scary. It's scary. I mean, if this thing hits some of the high density populations we have in Ghana, we will be in a bad state.
All right, that was Dr. Mensah Otabil, his General Overseer of the International Central Gospel Church. And so as we talk about the lockdown, the president has already, as we know, banned public gatherings following the outbreak of the coronavirus. And Event Vendors Association of Ghana, That association is calling on event organizers to reschedule their events. We want to also understand how this ban on public gatherings has affected their business. I'm joined in the studio by Bafo Nketia Sapong, who is with the Event Vendors Association to discuss this. Great to have you on the marketplace. Tell me what's happened in the last couple of weeks since announcement that we had coronavirus cases and the subsequent ban on public gatherings.
Actually, it hasn't been a good news for we the vendors and our clients. You know, we had, we plan events months, weeks, days, sometimes years. You know, so it came as a surprise to us by the president saying all events, all social gathering must shut down.
It should have been a surprise, seeing that this was a very
yeah. On a normal note, sometimes we do have info ahead of time. We know how to communicate with our clients, but it just came as a way of surprise. So we are just pleading with our clients or with our customers to help us postpone all events. Some of our customers are really on us, complaining, and since the president has said this, we're going to do the program again, this and that, and blah blah, and it's really affecting the industry.
Tell me what you do, Bafo, in terms of vending.
I'm into decoration.
Decorations.
Yeah.
And so tell me about how business was before the ban and what it is now.
Oh, business was much better, and as I said, we had events ahead of us. That, for instance, I had an event 22nd. That was last week Saturday, and about 3 events all must be cancelled. You can't just do events with just 25 people.
I was going to come to that because it wasn't, well, really it was a ban, but not on small gatherings, so like for groups of 25 or less.
25 wouldn't happen because my workers will be there, the lighting guy will have his workers, the music guys are bringing their workers, so just the number 25 wouldn't work, trust me, wouldn't work. So we are just pleading to...
So the trend we are seeing is that more and more people are cancelling events.
Yes,
and
day
so
in, day out.
Your request is that they should rather postpone and not cancel?
Yeah, they should rather postpone, not cancel, because me, for instance, I need to do some rentals from rental companies. We need to buy items towards the event, and all those things have been bought. And most clients do pre-finance before the event. So the money is not there. We've bought the items, we've done the rentals, we were preparing thoroughly towards the event, and this thing comes in.
And so what are you doing in the meantime, seeing that you didn't foresee this happening? So during this period when there's a ban, how are you operating? What diversification is there, if any?
We are we've put measures down for we ourselves, as in how to deal with our clients and how to deal with our workers. The Event Vendors Association, we've passed out with our informations and other things, and we're still telling other clients and other people to still bear with us because it isn't our fault. It's a natural disaster.
Do you think you're going to survive this, and for how long really should this continue? Or do you think you're going to come out of this?
Oh, as we all trust and believe in God, we're all going to come out of it. We should all support ourselves in prayer so that this thing goes off.
And so, for instance, we've seen that people are laying off their workers. Have you had to make such a decision? Do you have workers, people you work with?
Yes, we all have workers. We all have, and they understand. And
have you laid them off?
You can't.
So you're paying their salaries?
You can't do anything about that. You need to pay them.
That hurts your financial.
Yes, strongly, but we have no alternative.
Okay, so you're into decorations. Just for the benefit of our audience, what other businesses in the vending space are being affected by this ban?
The photography, the rental companies, caterers, the music, MCs, anything about, anything that comprises events, everyone is affected. Everyone is affected.
Really, right now, I don't know what to say, but to just wish you all the best and pray that some way, somehow, there is a miracle and that this is over, events start again, and you're able to make up for your losses. Thank you very much, Benjamin Nketia Sapong, with the Bafo. Where did Ebenezer come from? He's my colleague. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you, Bafo Nketiah-Sarpong, for coming to the studio on the Marketplace. Now, Marriott Hotel here in Accra has rejected media reports that it is hosting persons who arrived recently in the country following the closure of the country's borders. Now, some hotels have offered their facilities to support government's bid to check the spread of the coronavirus. Here's Head of Communications and Marketing at Marriott Hotel, Frank Aduajo, who has been explaining why they have decided not to host any people.
Well, I mean, with government decision to quarantine people, I think it's a good decision and it should be encouraged. There are hotels that have been turned into quarantine zones, which, I mean, it's good, but for us, we are not one of them. We don't have anyone here who has been quarantined, or nobody has made this hotel a quarantine zone. So I can assure you that for currently, all the guests here are here by choice, not through being quarantined or through no decision of theirs. But as I said, in times like this, hard decisions have to be taken, and so I understand that there's a need to have quarantine zones in the country where we can receive people coming into the country. Already today, I had a few hotels have closed here in Ghana, so I mean, it's already having a toll. But for us, it's also having a toll on us. But we would not lay off people. I will probably just give them leave and try and manage it as best as we can. But it's on a day-by-day basis. We'll make decisions as and when, and we never know what's happening in the future. We could have good news next week and say, hey, you know, numbers has gone down and, you know, I mean, restrictions have been lifted, and, you know, happy for everyone. But as the decisions are made, we look at the current situation and then we make it. We don't just decide.
And right now, the count is at 132 people with the confirmed case of the coronavirus. We keep watching the space, hoping for the best. But this has been the Marketplace. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. We've got the latest updates over there. You want to visit that website, myjoyonline.com/business.